If you're having suicidal thoughts or feelings or feel like you have no hope, please call 988. There, you can talk to someone who not only cares about your story, but cares about you. Please reach out today. Thomas P. Murphy once said, "Minutes are worth more than money. Spend them wisely." At Minutes Wisely, we take that to heart. Our mission is to decrease veteran suicide by providing life-changing experiences for veterans, first responders, and Gold Star families. We believe that we can make a lasting impact by rekindling a sense of purpose and fostering community through sponsored tickets to sporting events. These experiences are not just about the game, they're about the moments that can change lives. A simple sporting event can boost joy and instill a sense of renewed hope and purpose for those who have served. Join us in making a difference, become a moment maker, and empower a veteran with rediscovered hope. Visit minuteswisely.com for more information and to get involved. Together, we can make every moment count.
Good evening. How you guys doing?
You guys see that?
Yeah.
How you doing?
Hey man, we don't screw around here, man. Like that's our personal flyover.
Wow, that's awesome. That's got to take a lot of coordination.
Yes. So, excuse me. My lungs are still jacked up from pneumonia last month.
You sound better though. You do sound better.
Yeah, I'm getting there, man. I'm still coughing and hacking, but at least I'm not dying. So there is that. So, Mike, just give you a little heads up. We started TSP a little over 3 years ago, and it started picking up momentum. And we found that there's a lot of broken souls out there. So we kind of turned it into a nonprofit. So this is like twofold. We get the veterans' stories. We get to hear them. You get to get it off your chest. The civilian world gets to hear them. And hopefully somehow the show makes some money, and we take it and we turn it into, we started Minutes Wisely, which is a nonprofit.
You did. You
started. I started Minutes Wisely. It's a nonprofit and we send veterans, first responders, and Gold Star family members to sporting events. And eventually, once we grow a little bit more, we're going to branch out, not just do sporting events, because we realize not everybody likes sports. Some people might like concerts. Some people might like plays. We're going to open it up and do more things in the community.
Plays and operas for me, buddy.
Yeah, I like it also. It doesn't really matter to me.
Hey, dude, you did a great job on your freaking golf tournament, man. You made some money. Dude, so, talk about that for a little bit. Just a little bit.
I did back-to-back fundraisers. Not this past weekend, the weekend before, I went to Boston. Suffolk University's women's volleyball team. They invited me out to a match. Went to it. They did a nice little fundraiser for me, brought in a few bucks. But more importantly, it brought awareness to a whole nother region, what we're doing. So it was awesome. And then I came home last Monday evening and went right into another nonprofit or a fundraiser, which was our inaugural Corporal Diaz Memorial Golf Scramble. I met Corporal Diaz's wife here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, and her husband, Corporal Diaz, died in Afghanistan 20 years ago. So I asked her if I could name the golf outing in his honor. So his name will at least be spoken at least once a year, and we'll keep it going every year for him. That's awesome. It was a first-time event. It turned out great. We were hoping to get about 10 teams to get involved. We ended up with 23 teams. And overall, after we paid all the bills, we brought in just north of $9,000. So it was a great, very giving week. I can't thank the people involved enough. It was awesome. And hopefully we can get out there and save some veterans' lives with it.
Absolutely.
So that's what it's all about. We do this because we feel like, 22 veterans every single day that commit suicide. So it's or more. Yeah. that the rally cry is 22.
Had to throw that in, yeah.
But we feel that giving somebody, a veteran, a night out, a stress-free night where we pay for the entire night, hopefully that'll change something. If we could just change their trajectory a little bit to the positive side, it's well worth it. So that's what our mission is. And since last time we've been on, we opened up a swag store. So I will have so you can our cool little logo here. You can buy all kinds of swag with it. I'll have a link to it in the show notes here. So
it's good, because I need to buy some stuff, man. I need some more swag.
Gotta have swag.
Gotta have swag.
And it's perfect because the logo is cool and all the money goes supporting a great cause. So it's a win-win situation.
I just I want to mention October 5th. I hope you're going to be out with me at Vet Fest in Brentwood with a table.
Yeah, I was just looking at that. It's on my calendar.
Yeah, so that's one of the big things. I know this is working into my announcements, but October 5th, huge Vet Fest down in Brentwood. Probably about 3,000 people will come in Tennessee. October 13th, I'm holding my gala event, so formal wear and uniforms for my Ton Tavern fundraiser / Navy birthday, October 13th from 1700 to 2000 at Mount Moriah, number 18, Freemason Lodge in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. It is $25, and you get to eat, have fun, drink sparkling cider, feel like a big shot. One of the big guest speakers, my commanding officer from 2006, Battle of Ramadi, Colonel Brian Harvey will be there. This guy he's from Chattanooga, went to Austin Peay State University, played football for them, probably the biggest son of a bitch I've ever seen in my entire life. I remember in 2006 at OP Haria in Ramadi, I was watching him, like we had a little makeshift gym, and this guy was benching like 415, just like it was nothing. And I was like, holy shit. So, hey, if you want to see him, he's a good dude. But the night's going to be fun. So
why'd you have to make it so fancy, man? You get more people if you don't have to dress up.
Dude, no. Dress up is fine. If you can't afford $25 for a gala event, there's something wrong. When can you go to a gala event for $25 with past hors d'oeuvres?
I'll give you my $25, but I don't want to get dressed up. That's my point.
Why not? Hey, listen, wear a suit, man. Wear a suit. Hey, I'm going to be wearing my uniform, okay, because I could actually fit into it now because I lost 68 pounds in the past 8 months.
Wow.
So I look good. Yeah. I'm like Ron Burgundy. I look good.
I look good.
Real good.
I don't mean to brag.
But no, that's it. But no, that's it. Fleet, those are my announcements.
Right on. So let's get into Mike, man. Where did you grow up there, sir? Can you, first of all, introduce yourself?
Introduce yourself, sir.
Yeah, my name is Mike Corrado. A few short years ago, I was Colonel Mike Corrado. But now I'm happily living the retired life. I built a recording studio, as you can see. We're down here in Shelbyville, and the road between where I'm from and now is long, but I try to summarize it as best I can. I grew up. My dad he worked for Xerox. He did the mailroom to boardroom kind of thing. He was there for a long time, which we moved around a lot. So, born in Rochester, New York, moved to Boston, went to Dallas, then Atlanta, and then up in Vienna, Virginia, went to Oakton High School for my last 2 years of high school. And then I wound up going to the Citadel. I had an opportunity to go to a music school, or I had an opportunity to go to military school. And after visiting both, I really just fell in love with Charleston and the Low Country, like you said. And that kind of did it for me. So, I wound up going to the Citadel, and then later I went to into the Marine Corps. And then, once I got, settled at my first duty station and, got used to field life, it is I'm an infantry guy, so that means you're either deployed in the field or every once in a while you get to hang out at the Brass Pelican on Topsail Beach on the weekends. But
oh man, I haven't been there in ages.
Right,
Holy crap!
Right. So I played music. I always have. I loved it. I found out how therapeutic it could be. I didn't understand a lot of things when I was going through training at the basic school, and unfortunately we had a second lieutenant, Eric Berteau. He was killed right in front of us. And then you go into the Marine Corps, and this is 1992, obviously pre 9/11. Things are getting small, but you go into the Marine Corps and you're like, oh, this is it's going to be fun and adventurous and exciting and serve your country and that kind of thing. And then that shortly into the training, you experience a loss, both visibly and then with your platoon and all that kind of stuff. And then you meet the parents, and it was crazy. And that was a moment where it's like, hey, this is the real thing. This is every time you go out and train, this is it's the opportunity to be life or death. So took it very serious, and music was my way of coping, or just kind of venting or whatever. And I wrote a song about Eric. That was kind of my first written song. So throughout the Marine Corps, I carried a guitar, went to did a little flyaway mission to Cuba, went to all the big ports in South America, went around the Horn, then we hit Argentina and then Brazil, and then we shot over to Africa, and the whole time kind of had a guitar in tow. Played in a couple clubs, got to witness firsthand the how music is the great communicator, and I've seen that a lot. But that was kind of the first time when I show up at this little jazz club in somewhere in West Africa. I can't remember, it was Ghana or Cape Verde or something like that. But and I roll in there with a guitar, and we all kick a tune in B flat, and away you go. And I couldn't speak to the sax player, who was from France, and then the other guys were local. They didn't speak English, but the ability to communicate through a common thing, being music, was pretty cool. So things were going well for me musically. I had finished I did 5 years as a platoon commander, and then company XO and all that kind of stuff. But then when it came time, it's like, there was a lot of cutbacks and all that kind of stuff. And I was like, yeah, I think I'm going to give this music thing a shot. So at that point, I EAS'd, and when I did, my entire band that was playing with me, we started making a little name around town. But my entire band were all Marines, and they were from the 2nd Marine Division band. So we all had common goals and common interests, and we all loved music, and we just went out there and tore it up. So we were doing that for about 4 or 5 years, and then up and down the East Coast, playing at every place that would have you, kind of thing. Doing that for 4 years, starting to get on the radio, starting to get a tour book. Now you got management, and things are going well. And we recorded an album. The album came out on September 12th of 2001. The day prior, obviously, the events changed many people's lives forever, to include mine and my wife's. She's a retired Air Force flight medic. And, we got a call saying, hey, this is the Marine Corps, and we need you. And I was like, all right, game on. Where do we go? So the band understood that. They went back to school and did some other things. And so then I got mobilized for 1 year. That turned into 2, which turned into 3. And now I'm a major. I'm a headquarters and service company commander, dual hatted as the operations officer for the MEF headquarters group. And we knew that the year after my orders were to end, that we were going to Fallujah. We were going to replace one MEF. So, 3 years turned into 4, because you don't train up with the guys and gals and then just say, hey, have fun storming the castle. So went to Fallujah. That was a year. That's where we walked the same ground and know the same people, and had a good laugh about it the other day.
Yeah, we did. We did.
Old Gunny Dagenhart.
Gunny D.
Warrior.
Oh, man.
Warrior of warriors.
Dude, that guy, dude, if I mention that name to any of my guys, they'll be like, holy shit. Yes. Gunny D, if you're listening, dude.
He and his crew got blown up more times. And
yep.
I mean, just finding the IEDs, keeping everybody alive. But, you know, great crew over there. You know, one of the things, you know, you talk about music and the power of music is that I got to experience while on active duty was at Camp Fallujah. And right in the middle of the camp is Charlie Surgical, which is the immediate trauma care before you can go off to a level 2 facility. But they had a building next to them, and it was to be used as a morgue if needed. And it was also where we did things like emergency blood draws and all that kind of stuff. But, you know, once we kind of got into a battle rhythm over there, and we could sneak away for a few minutes, we would go over to that. We tried to do like every Friday or every other Friday at 1900 or something like that, when things were kind of settling down. But we just go in there and bring some guitars and pass them around, and just kind of share that camaraderie, and then that kind of unspoken communication through music and through a sense of home. It was really powerful. And then to be able to do that and to kind of lift our own spirits in a place that was designed for the absolute worst, but we were doing the best with it, and that was pretty cool. So I was while I was in Iraq, I put in for the active reserve program. For those who don't know, there's 3 components. Well, there's a few different components of the reserves, but you have the active component, the reserve component, and then there's a small group called the active reserve, which is like a cadre. The Navy calls it FTS. The Air Force and the National Guard call it arts. So all the services have them, but you're kind of the liaison between the 2 components. So I wound up getting picked up for that, which means I'm essentially back on active duty. And then I immediately, I got home from Iraq, got on the AR program, and then I went to be an instructor out in Kansas City. Got to do some cool stuff out there, out at Chief Stadium. Got to do some cool training with the Marines, and also got the opportunity to play some cool music venues up there. So from there, we went to Hawaii.
Oh, nice.
It sounds that way, but it's beautiful. It just wasn't for me. I just kind of been used to moving around and going state to state, and living in a our tour van and all that kind of stuff. And I just felt a little close, but had some great times, met some amazing people. I was working out at MAR 4 PAC, Marine Corps Forces Pacific, and while I was out there, I met some of the folks in MWR, and they had heard about me musically from some of the other bases. Next thing you know, I got to open up for the Black Eyed Peas. That was pretty cool. There's a big air show at Kaneohe Bay in Kailua, and it's absolutely gorgeous setting. You're playing on the flight line. There's 15,000 people out in front of you. And it's just it was a beautiful setting. It's one of the best concert settings I've seen.
What year was that, Mike?
That was 2010, I believe. 2010. Yeah. And the Black Eyed Peas had, I don't know, they had a couple of big hits out, but so that was cool. And then it was 2009 or 2010, one of the 2. I was there from 2008 to 11. So I think it was 10. I don't know. And then while I was there, I had released an album. I still was, was recording and releasing and that kind of thing in my spare time. And then playing local shows in and around Hawaii and Honolulu and that kind of thing when I could.
Was that Stand or Still in the Fight? Following the Wake?
So it was actually Start Saving Me, which came out in 2008. But
Oh, here it is. Yeah, Start Saving. Okay.
Yeah, but I flew to Greenville, South Carolina to record Stand.
Okay.
And then the
Sorry, I have
next year,
guys. You
yeah.
can find
No,
Mike Corrado on Spotify, which as soon as I met him at Hero Stock, he is great. He is fantastic. He sounds like an angel. Download, just get his stuff on Spotify. Don't download, just get it.
it's all free.
It's all good.
If you want to buy a CD, I do have them, and they make great coasters. So, but yeah, so we shot a music video for it there, and it's one of those videos that I just look at it and I just cringe because I just didn't know any better, and some local crew was just like, "Oh yeah, this looks great, brah," and and it just wound up being embarrassing. So don't look at that. But anyways, but that video, I entered it into a contest, on the radio contest, and I won. So I won an opening night for Bon Jovi. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Nice.
They started it's called The Circle. They started their The Circle World Tour in Honolulu. They did 2 nights at Blaisdell Arena. I think that was like January, February 2011. And I got to do the second night. So 30-minute opener in front of 8,800 people at capacity. It's pretty cool. And then, being able to walk over side stage and, be just kind of point at John Bon Jovi when he's rocking out, the encore of Wanted Dead or Alive. And it was one of the last times Richie Sambora was with him and all that kind of stuff too. So I got the little ticket stub, and, it's just one of those cool rock and roll memories for me. I wrapped up the tour in Hawaii, and then I went to Quantico, where I was the executive officer for the Wounded Warrior Regiment. So I was there from 11 to 14. That was kind of the height of the kinetic injuries coming out of Afghanistan. We were still caring for folks from Iraq, and it was an eye-opening experience. It was one of the toughest jobs that I had, and one of my favorites, just because I got to meet amazing people. I got to see people redefine the definition of resilience. Got to see the hardships too, and that kind of thing. But that was an amazing experience. And then as I wrapped up that tour, I had gotten called from the Marine Corps and the Department of Defense, and then they wanted to team me up with. They knew that I sang, and then they wanted to team me up with Toby Keith at the Academy of Country Music Awards All-Star Salute to the Troops. So went out there. That was
nice.
I think we recorded it in April of 2014, and it came out on CBS like, I don't know, May. We got up there, man. That show almost ended my career, right? So, at the time, I'm kind of at the, I'm starting to get in zone I was in zone for Colonel. I'm in full blue whites. We're on TV, national TV. And, we had been rehearsing with Toby and his guitar player, Scotty Emmerich. And we went into the show. We got on stage. We did all the prep work you got to do before you get in front of a thing like that, the pit crew of rollers and all that kind of stuff. But got out there, and then Toby's like, "Hey, hold this," and he hands me a red Solo cup, and I'm like, "Okay," and I knew that that's his thing. I knew that that's it's a thing. The red Solo cup is iconic in country music, thanks to him. But so we sang the song called "Call a Marine," which is like he calls it one of his funny little deployment songs. He said that he had written a couple songs about the Army, and they wound up getting, to be pretty big songs, he said, but I still wanted to, so they wrote this little song, and they would go out fob to fob and play it, and that kind of thing. Got to hear some great stories of him doing these USO tours and visiting the troops. And One time he said he was with his tour manager and his manager, and they were being flown to a fob, and the air crew had to sit them somewhere in the middle of nowhere in this little bitty shack, drop them off because they had a tick and they had to go to a medevac. So he's like, we are out here. It's pitch black. We don't know where we are. I mean, it was so funny the way he said it. And then he said, then sure enough, an hour later, here comes the bird again. And off they went to some other fob to play. So just a lot of funny stories.
Oh yeah.
But the key moment of that, I think, along with being able to share the stage with him, is I got to meet his crew. I got to meet his manager and his label at the time, Show Dog, and Mark Wright. And I remember I was in between duty stations going from Wounded Warrior Regiment down to Marine Forces Reserve at 4th Marine Division down there in New Orleans. And I stopped off in Nashville and I talked to TK, his manager. And one of the things he told me, I'll never forget. He said, if you want to be in the music business, you got to be here. In other words, Nashville, Music City. If you're going to be in this business, you got to be here. And I just kind of always put that away. Several duty stations later, I got promoted out of New Orleans, and then I went up to Norfolk on a 3-star staff up there. And then from there, I went back to Camp Lejeune, got the opportunity to command at the 06 level. So
nice
to be stationed at Camp Lejeune as a young little infantry platoon commander, to be able to retain my MOS the whole time, and then to be able to retire as a 06 commander out of Camp Lejeune.
Were you
pretty cool?
Were you a regimental commander or battalion commander or something?
So again, you got to go back to the active reserve program. So
okay.
Regimental commands from throughout Marfil Res aren't located at any of their major bases. They're out in the hinterlands. But there is a group there, and it's right by the John A. Lejeune statue in the traffic circle, right across from that gym over there. And it's called the Deployment Processing Command Reserve Support Unit.
Okay. Yeah.
So
okay.
yeah, we're the ones.
Okay.
Yeah, we're the ones that we take in all the reservists once they get mobilized. We put them through all their training. We get them, up to speed medically and all that kind of stuff, and then we hand them over to the Gaining Force Command.
Okay.
So that was also pretty cool.
Yeah, because I'm going on. Well, this is a segue. Sorry. We're going on. Me and my wife are going on vacation. She's never been to Lejeune. I'm going to take her over Thanksgiving, and I'm going to go check that building out. So I know where it is. I know exactly where it is.
Yep, it is directly adjacent to Marine Corps Installations East.
Yeah.
Yep.
We used to drive a lot. Oh man. No, sorry. Sorry.
No, I was there for a couple of months and then all of a sudden Hurricane Florence came in 2018 and
it destroyed our NCO club.
It did. I think the number was something like 36 billion between all the bases in North Carolina. So yeah,
the Gunny Ball Center was, completely destroyed. And that was named after my gunnery sergeant, who he got hit in Fallujah in 2005, and then he died a year later. And he's buried up in Arlington, but they named the NCO club after him. And it is not in service anymore. The last time I went there, it had weeds growing everywhere. It looked terrible.
Yeah. Yeah. No, unfortunately, I got the chance to have a few beers with the Marines in there before it finally, got schwacked. But and then we spent the majority of our, the tour with half of our walls and in trailers and all that kind of stuff. But the Marines did awesome. All the corpsmen that did all the medical readiness did amazing, and we kept it going. Yeah, man. Yep. So
really cool.
It's funny because every 4th of July, they do these big shows at Camp Lejeune. I did one in 2014. And it was the 2nd Marine Division band, and then it was my band, which is the Mike Corrado band, and then it was LL Cool J. And yeah,
Oh
yeah,
man.
So, and I had just met him in Las Vegas because they did this shoot for People magazine. I got a copy of it hanging up here in the studio, but they call it the class photo. So it was all the artists that were there at the ACMs, and then it was all the service members that were representing their branches. So I got old man, they're all in there. They got King George is in there, Merle Haggard's in there, Toby's in there, Rascal Flatts is in there.
Nice.
Lady Antebellum's in there, Carrie Underwood, and the FGL guys when they were just starting out. But anyways, just had a good time with that. But while we were standing there waiting for this big class picture, and you got all of those big wigs, and then I think all the military folks that were there, we were pretty easy to follow directions. But I got to talking to LL, and I was like, hey, yeah, I'm going to be opening for you in a couple months. He's like, oh, North Carolina. I was like, because I think they have to approve all those people and whatever. So that was kind of cool. But the thing about that show is I flew in 2 days prior. On the day prior, which is now, this is a Friday, Category 1 hurricane. What's new? It's Eastern North Carolina.
Yep.
And then they were like, oh, I'm not sure if we got to cancel the show or this or that. So they were out with the next day. It was beautiful, just like after a hurricane. Show day, right? They were out on WPT Hill Field, which is right across from where I was. But they were out on that field with shit sucker trucks, just pulling puddles out, right? And I'm like, here we go. That's the way we do it on Marine Corps base, So I'm like, let's go. So, they put the stage up, and then all of the other county and city fireworks had canceled because they didn't know what the weather was going to be like. They didn't know that, if there was going to be any flooding or damage or whatever. So very fortunate in that case, but all those people wanted a place to go. So it wound up, I think they were planning for about 25,000 people, and they got just over 50,000. So it was a lot of fun.
And that's the field where they usually do the change of command ceremonies, right? The big one.
The big change of commands. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I've only done one, and that shit sucked. That was 3 hours wasted of my life.
Those are the worst.
Oh,
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what rank you are.
No,
those suck.
Hey, actually,
and that's Mike, a colonel saying that.
Mike, if you've been to a couple of those ceremonies, right? So did you see any of the younger Marines, the junior Marines, go forward or backwards because they locked their damn knees? Because that is the funniest thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
I was gonna say that's a good question.
What's crazy is that when you're doing an op order to prepare for one of those things, you plan for that. Right? It's like you got the corpsman stage, you got some vehicles behind there. If you need to drag a body off, you take them and you hide them behind the track or the tank or whatever. So yeah, no, cat's out of the bag.
Yeah.
There's an SOP for that, right? I mean, if somebody falls forward, they have to get them out immediately to not fuck up the rest of the ceremony, right?
Well, I think anybody that goes down gets dragged out. I mean, it's you don't want to see people that are down, probably from partying too hard and just go hungover and lock the knee funny. And or they're getting sick out there or whatever.
You can say whatever you want on this show, man.
Yeah,
people love it.
Hey, Mike, I have a question. Any chance you have your guitar handy?
Oh shit! Are we gonna do this? Oh, that's a good one, man.
Yeah.
Can we hear the song? Can we hear the song you wrote about Eric?
Ooh.
Was that?
I have since changed that, and I kind of repurposed it into a different song called Stand.
Yeah.
Only because I didn't really know how to write a song as a young little lieutenant at TBS.
Yeah.
You know, I just had a guitar and I knew how to tune it, that kind of thing. I knew 3 chords. And there used to be okay, I'll grab one.
Yeah, just play anything then. It don't matter.
All right, give me a second.
Yeah, no problem, man.
Take it, sir.
Hell yeah.
I got my in-ears in too, so I can hear you. Talk amongst yourselves.
Oh,
Yeah.
he looks, dude. Seriously, when I saw him, he wasn't wearing glasses, so I was like, "Oh my!" I mean, I didn't recognize him at first, but then when I heard his voice, I was like, "Hey, Fleek, how many cities are we now heard in?"
I have to look it up real quick.
No, sorry, I didn't mean to put you on the spot.
No worries. It's on my app. My app is not logged in. I might be able to get it to you in a minute.
Okay.
Last time I looked, it was 601.
601.
Something like that.
That's
yeah.
cool. 601, boys and girls. 601. 40 countries.
I will let you know here in a second. Probably easier if I just use my computer.
You know, we haven't had anyone play on our show since Micah Howard, man.
Yeah.
That was like 2 years ago.
It was early.
Yeah, it was early in our podcasting career. Hey, shout out to my Teak fraternity brothers, wherever you guys are. Okay, I'm wearing this for y'all. If you can't go Greek, go Teak, right?
It's, the numbers have gone up.
They have?
Since the last time I looked. We're still at 40 countries, which is a lot.
Yeah.
613 cities.
Holy shit.
Across the globe.
Damn.
And
hey, Mike, this episode is going to be heard in.
Do this.
He doesn't have his ears in yet.
Oh, sorry.
And Germany is still the number 2. Melbourne, Victoria.
Yeah, Australia, dude.
Yeah. They just jumped on.
They did?
Cool.
Hey,
Yeah,
Australians, how are you guys?
It says new locations, Melbourne, Victoria.
I have a friend of mine who is in Australia, and I met her while I was at the Wounded Warrior Regiment. She's a artist, and she was doing combat sketch art with some of our combat artists in the Marine Corps. So maybe
Nice.
she tuned in.
Sorry, Mike. I was just about to tell you, this episode will be seen in 40 countries and 613 cities.
Cool.
And Germany and Australia are 2 of them.
Yes.
Nice.
We're moving
we
up
haven't
in the
had
world.
we haven't had live music in about 2 years, so this is a treat for us, man.
Can you hear that guitar?
Oh yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Good to go.
All right, so this is a song. It took me a second to tune this thing because we were doing some recording the other day, but this is a song called On My Watch Tonight. And
On My Watch, you're gonna play that song?
yeah.
Hell
Yeah,
yes.
that one. But this one, it came out in 2005. My buddy Edwin McCain sang on it. And then it came out in March 05, and then March 05 is when I deployed. So it kind of caught up to me later on, and I was just kind of handing CDs around Fallujah,
that's your number one. That's your number one on Spotify. 371,842 listens.
Nice.
Good job, man. Good job.
But I kind of wrote this right after 9/11, and I got to thinking, and and I don't mean any disrespect to all my brothers and sisters who wear the cloth of other services, but something hit me that night, and I think it was like somebody had on the news had read a letter from this young Marine. I think he was a corporal, and he wrote it to his dad, and he just said, "Hey, we got this, get back to rebuilding, get back to, taking care of the families. Like we're here. We've got the watch, you know what I mean? And that immediately just went through my bones. And I'm just like, hell yeah, devil dog,
For real.
So I just wanted to kind of capture that moment. And this is a song that is kind of that transition of going from boot camp, in this case, Paris Island, to the front lines. I hope that sounds okay with these speakers. Oh, no, that's out of tune. I come from an island in the Carolina sand, where I was broke down and built up and reborn, a fighting man. And my blood runs red, white and blue. I'll brave the cold, the rain, the pain, and the bullets, so you don't have to. Don't worry about me, I'll be alright. Just care for your children, sleep tight. I'll keep you safe on my watch tonight. It's a long, long way from that island, and a long way from home. The thought of you standing behind me, I could never be alone. And there's a promise I need you to make. While I'm gone, you take care of the love, and I'll deal with the hate. Don't worry about me, I'll be alright. Just care for your children, sleep tight. I'll keep you safe on my watch tonight. That's the short version.
Hell yeah, that's awesome.
Dude, your voice is kicking.
Oh,
Dude,
thank you, man.
Dude, you got some high notes there that this little guy couldn't have hit those. The last time I hit something like that I was like 10. Okay. Damn.
Come on, man. Come on.
You got some pipes, Mike. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Thank you. So, but yeah, the whole music thing it's deep. It's deep within me. And I've seen it heal. When I was at the Wounded Warrior Regiment, one of our detachments was at Walter Reed, and we would go see them. And then that's when I started watching some of the Marines who were participating in music therapy programs, so now you got these kids I call them kids because I was old then and I'm old now, but these guys were going through some traumatic regrowth, and they were, using music and adaptive, music and stuff like that, music therapy programs to heal. And I was just like, yes, that's what I'm doing. That's what we're doing. So, part of that is what I'm doing in retirement, this place in Shelbyville. For those of you who are familiar with the Bourbon Trail, we're on the tail end of it. So We live a couple miles from the nearest green distillery,
Shelbyville.
and then in Shelbyville. Yep, and it's a
I'm right down the
beautiful.
street. I'm
All right.
in Christiana, right down the road from you.
Nice. All right.
45. Yeah. Like 30,
I'm not.
40 minutes away.
I'm not far from the Piggly Wiggly.
The pig. Ah,
Yeah.
my wife loves the pig, man.
So, but yeah, we found this property, and it had these two buildings. Well, one was the house, and then another one was this building. And just looking at it, I knew that we had the ability to make something special with it. And that, kind of looking down the hill and at the pond and seeing the wildlife. And yes, I feed them because I want them around because it makes me happy. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But just to kind of be out here and be secluded, we've held several veteran songwriting events and recording sessions here, and it's just a great place to be. And we call it Harmony Hill. And one of the things we do here at Harmony Hill is we run the A Hero Records, which is a record label for active or retired or reserve military artists, and the same for first responders, because we are running the music program for an organization called A Hero, and you can find them at aherousa.org. And Richard, this kind of gets back to your point, but A Hero is an acronym. These guys do amazing things with veterans. They have it's called American Heroes Enjoying Recreation Outdoors. A good friend of mine, Major Lee Stuckey, he started it. They're based out of Alabama. They got like 700 acres, and they got a ranch out there where they just take care of veterans, and they do that through fishing and hunting, and they have forestry programs and different land management programs. And they have a lot of resources, and they've helped a lot of folks, and I've seen it firsthand. So I was proud to work with them on this, but they asked me to run that little record label. And we do, and we do the music therapy program as well. But if you go to aherousa.org, you'll see that. A Hero Records, we have a .com facing address. And so it's aherorecords.com. We just released a song by an artist. His name is Tim Murray, and he's one of these Americana storyteller guys. He's just got this killer vibe. And he is a gunnery sergeant in the United States Marine Corps Reserve. Wow. He's based out of the Philadelphia area, but man, he's just got this really cool country, Tyler Childers, Jason Isbell kind of storytelling. So, we've been working with him. We just put out his latest song in August. Following Your Sins. So put a music video out there, but that's under A Hero Records. That guy's name is Tim Murray. I believe all his socials are Tim Murray Music. So go support a fellow brother in arms. But yeah, so we've had several different songwriting events. One of them we got to write with the family of a Marine who had a terminal illness, and unfortunately we lost him in 2023. But the song, we were available to get the song to him, and that he and his family helped write, because it's their story, it's their words. And we got together with some great songwriters: Rusty Tabor, Kevin Adair, Jeff Sylvie. Jeff Sylvie's just got a new cut with George Strait's album called 3 Drinks Away. But we're just trying to make it happen for some folks. And then the final thing is that that's kind of our veteran outreach program. And then we also have Harmony Hill Entertainment, which is basically the studio, and we have a recording, indoor and outdoor recording, live recording capabilities, video, all that kind of stuff. So we just released our artist. Her name is Myra Washington, and her song is called Trouble. And man, it is upbeat kind of rockabilly, kicky in the ass kind of country tune, and the guitars are just on fire, and her vocals are on fire. And so, hope everybody checks that out. Myra Washington, Trouble, man, she is sweet. You ought to hear the other stuff coming out. But yeah, so that's what we're doing. We're hanging out here. We're helping vets. We're, you know, every once in a while, I went up to Old Red and played a show the other night for some veterans, and the folks at Alabama Power put that on for their crew.
Do you have like a list of like your
schedule,
upcoming events schedule?
You know, I don't, because I'm not playing as much as I used to. If I do, I'll post it on my Mike Corrado music page, or I'll do it on MikeCorrado.com and just put that out there.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. And then the majority of my socials, I think all of them are at the Mike Corrado.
Oh, there you are.
I've been dealing with the scammers.
Yeah. Yes.
But also people can follow Harmony Hill ENT. That would be super awesome too. Because
you're gonna get
making some moves.
I'm gonna be both me and Fleek are gonna be posting about you probably tonight. And then when it goes live, Fleek will send you the link and stuff like that. And
yeah, I'll be happy to share it out.
And
it'll go live Sunday night. But
me and Fleek want to take you out to lunch because my in-laws live in Petersburg, right up the road from where you live. So I got to go out there. And
do you drink bourbon?
I have been known to partake in some bourbon.
We'll go to nearest Marine. Hey,
we have to meet up at Uncle Nearest, man.
Yeah,
the humble Baron.
Which is funny because I'm kin to Jack Daniels and Brown Foreman. And it's funny because that story I didn't even know about it until like just recently. But Uncle Nearest taught Jack Daniels how to make whiskey, which when I was growing up, it was never even mentioned. But the woman who is the CEO of Uncle Nearest, she was at the VFW National Convention this summer, and she got an award, and she has done a lot of good stuff at that horse farm in Shelbyville on 231.
Yeah. No, from what I hear, that was that horse barn. It was a show barn. So like if you walk into their main merchandising store, their gift shop, and you look up and you see that this is where they used to run the horses around while people would, bid on them. And then if you go into the, I can't remember the barbecue place. It escapes my mind. It's named something different, but Barrel House Barbecue, something like that. But God, the food is so good. But you can actually sit in these booths. Well, the booths are horse tables. They're just, cinder blocked. So they repurposed all that. I mean, they did an amazing job with that place. And then from what I understand, the guy that did the stage and all that stuff was the same guy that did Paisley Park for Prince.
Wow.
So their entertainment and sound and lights is pretty top notch.
Yeah. And it's the longest bar in North America?
It's the world.
Oh, in the world?
The world.
Yeah.
Guinness Book of Records.
Guinness
Book of Records. But yeah, I think what we need to do though is we need to either meet up there and then come here, or we meet up here and then go there. So
I have another request, Mike.
Okay.
I just invited you to my Ton Tavern Navy birthday thing, and I want you wearing that. Because Colonel Harvey is wearing his dress mess, so you might have to kowtown and follow suit.
You might also not say no, because this dude's a pit bull. He's not going to stop talking about it.
Hey, I was called a browbeater by one of my VFW members, who I'm not going to mention on this podcast, but they called me a browbeater, and I browbeat the shit out of people, and I don't think I do.
All right, well, that's going to give me a good excuse to drop at least 10 pounds to get into that thing.
Hey, I dropped 68, man. You got this. Just walk, yoga, and Tai Chi. And yoga and Tai Chi, you can get that free at the VA. Just walk a lot, like 2 miles a day.
All right, you done talking now?
I think that's it. I think that's it.
I'm
sorry.
I got to figure out how to get my nonprofit involved with you. Maybe do a show or something.
That'd be awesome.
Hell yeah.
We have a stage outdoors. We've got sound, lights, all the stuff that you need for a very intimate show for probably, 40, 50 people.
I have an idea, Mike.
That'd be awesome.
And Fleek. How about we get, I got to do something anyway for the VFW for, we did a great job last year and I got to throw everybody a party. Hot Springs. I know the guy, I know the managing director at Hot Springs, and let's get Minutes Wisely and the Mike Corrado and Mike Corrado band playing out there for District 5. I think it'd be cool.
When? And where's Hot Springs?
Hot Springs is
John Bragg Highway.
Yeah,
it's in Murfreesboro.
Huge. Okay. Jesse James Dupree played there. They have a lot of good shows. They're
Jamie
great.
Johnson played there actually too.
Cool. Yeah,
so
just let me know when and we'll figure it out.
I'll talk to Miranda.
Yeah, I'll get in touch with you here shortly. So hey, before we let you go, I have I have a list of questions. So I'm gonna have you pick a number 1 through 10. Whatever number you pick, I'm gonna read the corresponding question, and I'm gonna hope you don't pick a certain number because literally everybody picks this number, but I don't want to ruin it. So go ahead and pick a number 1 through 10.
Well, if it's the number everybody picks, which is that's what I was gonna pick too.
Okay, please don't pick that number.
I'm gonna go with the Ocho.
Nice. Okay.
I'm going with the Ocho. I'm going 8.
Yeah. All right. Well, it was close, but that's not the number. Okay. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
How has your military service impacted your approach to challenges in your civilian life?
It's helped immensely. The organization and structure to do the mundane things that you don't like to do. In my world, the recording and the performing and all that stuff is the sexy part. The admin of it all, and keeping receipts and managing the books and doing all that kind of stuff. Not so fun, easy to get behind on. And when you're a super small organization like we are, the majority of it is mostly done by about 2 or 3 people at best. So it's given me the discipline, the drive, and the determination to be able to fulfill my mission, my new mission, which I kind of been doing all along, but now I'm not encumbered by the by being on active duty is
our admins.
Yeah, and MAR admins, brother, and annual and freaking cyber annual training and
fit reps and yeah.
Man, I mean, I'll do fit reps all day long over that cyber training crap. All the annual training, that you get the HIPAA and the this and the that and whatever. But again, it all went into the toolkit. So it was all good. It was just painful. And then after a while, it just became, repeated pain. And then after a while, it just became, well, that's just what we do. We just take the pain, just keep rolling. So
just keep rolling.
Nice. What
that's
it is.
Good answer, man.
Well, thanks.
Excellent. Well, I want to thank you for hopping on and
thank you.
Us. It was a great episode, and I
Mike,
look forward to coming out and meeting you.
Man, you sound great.
Yeah, that was amazing. Yeah, sorry that was the last bit. I didn't want to throw you under the bus or anything, but I was like, worst he could say is no, right?
I mean, if you look around, that's just the drum corner, right? And if I spin this thing around, then you start getting into Guitar World, and then we got all this stuff.
Nice.
And we got a whole control room over there, and I just played into my MacBook speakers. So I hope it was okay.
It sounded great, man.
We probably could have made it sound a lot better, but anyway, appreciate talking to you fellas.
Thank you, sir.
All right, stick around for a second while I hit the end record button, and we'll see you guys in a week. Thanks for joining in.
Hey,